Okay. Something else I forgot, but I didn't forget, but this is my who and my wedding, my hypothetical my who and my wedding, and we're hoping to graduate to wedding with me and my Dominique Supposed-By, or whoever my who is, but it's looking like Dominique, and it's looking like Dominique Supposed-By. So this is the setup. So this video is covering something I have not covered in like physical detail, which is the setup for the wedding ceremony song, the wedding song, and whether we do it during the rehearsal rehearsal and official ceremony. I keep thinking of what do I call that? I guess it's the official ceremony. So this is the computer setup. It'd be like the computer over here, and I have the original file that I uploaded to YouTube and published with the song. And then we turn like the volume up, and yeah. So that video is actually on my YouTube channel, and if I'm feeling ambitious, I'll link the video. It's a music video. The song is no copyright sounds, so I can play it openly, and we can play it openly, and I can play it like in this video. And I'll put song information. I think I can do that in this video description for the song, in addition to the music video I made. And so that's the setup. Is we have DJ Vlad Stanku, or no, not DJ, Music Man. The DJ who's like in charge of the shuffle on my phone, who won't be present at the wedding, tentatively, is Drew Kibler, Mr. Indiana meets Texas. Texas meets Indiana. Okay. Actually, appease the parents, I think, having an American do that. And so, but Vlad Stanku in charge of the music, so getting this set up and pressing play for the dance and stuff. And then, so that's the setup. And then playing of the song at the rehearsal ceremony. So yeah, I was thinking, since we have some Hungarian footballers, and they're very proficient at being recorded and having that shared globally, like publicly on a global platform kind of, or universal platform if it's at, the space station. I was thinking maybe Marco Rossi could be the understudy for Dad in the rehearsal ceremony. So have it be the father of the groom, then Marco Rossi as the understudy for my dad, so my dad can watch if he wants to, or he can just watch the video. I guess we intend to film it. And then my Dominique Supposed-By, so father of the groom being Zolt Supposed-By, and if I'm getting the names here correctly, and dance with me for the rehearsal, and then my dad, so that'd be the rehearsal, and the understudy part of that being Marco Rossi is more familiar of like how things happen based on public, even just YouTube, for performance mode, so my dad can watch the video or the real thing in person and be like, I can get an idea for what I want to do. Or it could be my dad in, but I was thinking that might be kind of stress relief for my dad, is having someone he can see, right, to be like, do I want to do that or want to do something different? And then playing of the song at the official ceremony, be kind of same thing, only Zolt Supposed-By, my dad, David Leonhardi, then Dominique Supposed-By, in the jerseys, if we go with that for attire. If I'm feeling ambitious, I'll link to that as well. That's a lot of stuff. And then the song is after like the reading of the vows and stuff. Yeah. And then I've got a bunch of stuff I have not discussed that needs to be discussed or revisited. So I'm going to go speed through it, kind of. We'll get that. So, sorry, we're going in the dark. And I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. This is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and I'm filming this Saturday, 23 December 2023. The two chairs are still in the room. Trying to keep them in for, at least 4 days, 3 nights, because that's kind of our wedding baseline timeline. There's 4 days, 3 nights, plus potentially a day 0, which I kind of did a day 0 with like the laying the foundation. Oh, look at, is that them? If it's Dominique, or my movers, my helpers, can you guys knock? Okay, so, or ring the doorbell again. Okay, virginity loss discussion. So that's my Jacob being a virgin. This is kind of to accommodate me being raped. So my Jacob and I are Norwegian, so tentatively us going to Hungary and losing my virginity that way, and then and him first because he's kind of predestined to be my first, and or anointed by God, so like, and then on going on a honeymoon with Dominique in Hungary after my Jacob and I. And why Hungary for my Jacob and I? Him knowing the language better than I do and being kind of a shepherd, right, through the process, but also it being memorable. If I lose my virginity in our house, we lose our virginity in our house. I'm concerned about it just blurring in with our everyday life. So going somewhere to make it a memorable experience. And then going to Hungary for the honeymoon and with my Dominique after that. And who knows, maybe there's a second honeymoon or in a second honeymoon that's like a month long. And why make it a month long for a second honeymoon or a second honeymoon? Possibly we get pregnant, you know, kind of like accommodating that kind of thing. I don't know, right? That it opens it up to that kind of stuff happening. Right, actually doing it in waking mode? Okay. And, but my first time to Hungary might be before that, right? Depending on how long, there's the first time to Hungary with my Jacob for virginity loss, and then there's the first time to Hungary, like if we move to Scotland, and then my Dominique wants me to visit Hungary and maybe take a bag of some of my stuff to move into the house there. Or there, we could go to Hungary before I go to Hungary with Jacob for the virginity loss kind of progression kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, Scotland and Hungary on Yelp. Scotland, I have written over 100 reviews for places in Scotland already, and Hungary is not on Yelp. But if Hungary is added as a country to Yelp, maybe doing like Yelp reviews there might be a delay or a lag time for me to figure out how to approach that. Like, do I keep the name, like the name of the business is in Hungarian, and do I write the review in English then? I don't know. So as I figure that out, there might be a lag time for me in responding. Biggest concerns of my parents for me getting married / moving out and moving in with my soulmates specifically, and in general, but yeah, is too little quality time together. So I'm thinking Dominique and I and my soulmates and I are thinking of implementing a golden standard of cooking / baking a recipe on our visit each time we visit. That way it prevents us from ever taking too little time. And we could bring the recipe and the ingredients and stuff like that if we wanted to. It could be like a YouTube recipe. It could be if my parents are experimenting, or my sister and brother, or Aunt Annette or Grandma Connie or whatever, and they're like, we want to see if this is something that could be published in a cookbook or something like that, or just like how easy is it for somebody else to do. We could do that, that kind of thing. And yeah, and if both of us can't make it for whatever reason, you know, my passport doesn't work at some point, like I move and then my passport, and you know, the first trip to Hungary, there's a problem, you know, and that would be just my luck when I did, you know, kind of thing. So then maybe we send one of us back to visit my parents, being like, she's okay, it's just passport, we're working on it, you know, that kind of stuff. So as need be. Biggest concern of with my sportsmen and musicians moving forward. So we love sweet, sweet loving and lemur long time. So no sex on the field or stage. Okay. And I'm just laying this in a video like laying this out now. And then save it for the locker room / dressing room. Right? I'm just like, yeah, that to some that's a tangent. To me, that's like just setting those limits now. At least communicating them. Okay. And then I have a longer conclusion, so that's just general notes, stuff I may have covered before, but or may not have. No tears at wedding is okay. I have actually gone through stages of my life where, and I have found that like giving an advance notice of leaving something or something like that, people don't cry where they might have normally cried because they have time to prepare for the thing. So like this wedding should have come to be with the time coincident with moving thing, like me moving out of here where I currently reside at my parents' house and in with my soulmates. Soulmate and or soulmates kind of thing. We have 4 days together. It's okay if people don't cry at the wedding, right? We have time to say the goodbyes, and it's not like our life is ending, and we've been kind of preparing for it this whole time. So no tears are okay by me, right? And I have found in some of these more drawn out scenarios, no tears actually happen where they might have otherwise. Okay, so it'd be consistent with my life experience if there's no tears. Okay. So no pressure for tears. Okay, no wedding presents, no bridal shower, no bachelor party. Since I asked for a Hungarian home wedding for this Christmas 2023 with the wedding date 15 December 2023 and Christmas on 25 December 2023, I'm counting these things are satisfied by Christmas this year. So like, yeah. Be it my celebrations and Dominique's celebrations. And then, okay, but you're like, but what happened? So I'm like, okay, the hypothetical 6-year hiatus break return. So the return after the 6-year hiatus and me publishing new videos. I've mentioned reading notes videos, but I've also mentioned catch-up videos. Do kind of like what I'm doing now, where I cover each of the aspects of the wedding, but I say or I go through with my Dominique, my supposedly, and I, or just me, depending on how we want to do those videos. Catch-up videos on what actually happened. Go through each of like the little segments of the wedding and talk about what happened, kind of thing. So, yeah. And address any, I think that's perfect for a return from a 6-year hypothetical, this hypothetical 6-year hiatus. Why? Because then we get an idea of what we actually need to address, right? Like we can say, well, this is what happened, but if people are like, wait, I'm confused about this, right? We'd be like, okay, I need to address that in that video, right? So there's time for in-person feedback so we can make sure that's covered as well, not just kind of rushing through everything. Yeah, so that's the conclusion. Potential wedding song. So let's see, I gotta do wedding song, music video, wedding song info, wedding song info, and then, oh yeah, attire, potential attire, because I mentioned the jerseys for the father of the groom, the father of the bride, possibly the understudy Marco Rossi for father of the bride, and then Dominique Sabosly, the groom. Yeah. So again, happy, again, I don't know this is again. Happy viewing. Thank you for viewing whenever you're viewing this and wherever you're viewing this from.